What's up, guys? Thomas Malchow here from trainfully.com. In this video, I'm going to show you one of my favorite lower body power exercises that I use with golfers to increase club head acceleration and swing speed. All right, guys, so the exercise that we're doing in this video is called a single leg counter movement jump. This exercise, though, is very advanced, so we're not going to start with it. We'll begin with the regressions and we'll work our way up, okay? So we'll start with a lateral hop to stabilization. If you notice, I have a couple small hurdles here set up. This is so that I have a goal, so that I know how far I'm jumping each time. You can use whatever you have, okay? I want you to begin with your hands on your hips. I don't want you to be able to use your arms for balance, so keep them on your hips. I'm going to jump off my left foot and land on the ball of my right foot very gently, stand up with perfect posture, and hold that position for 3 to 5 seconds, okay? So I'll show you what that looks like. And then I can jump back the other way. So what I want you to focus on is, first of all, keeping your feet pointing straight ahead. When you land, make sure that the foot that you're landing on doesn't turn out, so it doesn't look like this. If it looks like that, you're going to start to reinforce a dysfunction we want to keep you away from. So make sure the foot is pointing straight ahead. The other foot is also pointing straight ahead, and it's right beside the foot that you're standing on, just holding it maybe an inch or two off the ground. So from the camera, it might even look like I'm standing on both feet. I'm not. I'm standing on my right foot. Okay, so I don't want you holding it up here, back here, or here, right beside the other foot. Okay, so I'll show you a couple more. So why are we doing this? How is this going to improve our golf game? Well, the direction that we're jumping and the way that we're landing is forcing our gluteus medius and tibialis posterior muscles to eccentrically decelerate and stabilize our body weight against the force of gravity. Okay, so this increases the firing rate of those two muscles and makes them more active during our swing. Now, the gluteus medius is the primary frontal plane stabilizer. So if it's more active during your swing, you'll have less lateral movement. So you have less sway or slide, and you'll have a higher club head acceleration and swing speed. The tibialis posterior is the primary supinator of the ankle. So if it's more active during your swing, your groundwork will improve, and you'll have better balance, sequencing, and power. Okay, so I'll show you a couple more here. So with this exercise, you could do 1 to 3 sets of 12 hops in each direction, so 24 total. All right, so the first progression that we'll add in is a single leg touchdown. The setup is exactly the same. We're going to do a lateral hop to stabilization, and then do a single leg touchdown, and then come back in the other direction. So I'll walk you through it here. Hands on your hips, lateral hop, stabilize. I'm going to take my opposite hand, reach halfway down my shin, squeeze my glute to drive my hips forward, stand back up, and then come back in the other direction. Reach down, squeeze my glute, drive my hips forward. So as I drive my hips forward to stand back up, this is pelvis on femur hip extension. The primary hip extensor is the gluteus maximus. So by adding in the single leg touchdown, we're increasing gluteus maximus recruitment and making it more active during your swing. Now, this is the king of the golf swing. So if your gluteus maximus is more active during your swing, you'll have a lot more power. Okay, now I'll show you a couple more here. And it might not look like it, but we're actually starting to replicate the lower body mechanics of the golf swing. The golf swing is just a lot faster. But what we're doing is we're breaking the swing down into separate movements. That way we can make sure that we're performing each movement with perfect form. Because if we don't have perfect form here, there's no chance that we have perfect form on the golf course. So this first progression is actually an opportunity for you to improve your lower body mechanics. The better you do here, the better you'll do on the golf course. Okay, so for this first progression, we would do 1 to 3 sets of 12 jumps in each direction. All right, so now we'll actually do a counter movement jump. But FYI, it normally takes 2 to 3 weeks at least to get to this point. So don't rush through those other two exercises. Spend a couple weeks on them. Make sure that you can do them perfectly before progressing to this, because if you can't do those exercises perfectly, you'll have to compensate to do this one, and you'll start to build and reinforce compensation patterns, and that's not going to help your performance. Okay, so I'm going to show you the exercise first, and then I'll break it down and I'll tell you what to work on. Okay, so first thing is you don't need your hands on your hips for this one, okay? Okay, so if you notice, the jump now on my right foot is very quick. So this is actually a plyometric jump over here. Plyometric movements consist of 3 phases. We have the eccentric phase, we have the concentric phase, and in between we have the transition. And that transition is called the amortization phase. We want to make that amortization phase as short and as quick as possible, okay? Another thing is I want you to be careful and try to land on the same spot every time. So jumping off here, coming back and landing on the same spot on your right foot. And you might even want to tape a little square on the floor to make sure that you are being accurate with your landing. So again, I'll show you a couple more here. Now, I see people do this and they just jump back and forth and it looks very impressive. But if you look closely, their feet are turning out, their knees are caving in, and they're not landing in the same spot each time. That's not how I want you to do this exercise. This exercise, the point of it is to increase the amount of power you can generate during your swing. Power is useless to you if you can't control it and use it properly. Okay, so I want you to focus on being really accurate with your movements, making sure you're landing in the same spot each time. So now, because this is a power exercise, we decrease the number of reps. So we're going to do 6 to 10 on one leg, and then we'll go over to the other side and do 6 to 10 in the other direction. All right, guys, so the big lesson today is your workouts aren't simply about fitness. They're an opportunity to make improvements in your swing mechanics. So with that in mind, the exercises you do should replicate the biomechanics of the golf swing. And your focus should be to perform those exercises with perfect technique. That way, the improvements you see in your workouts will transfer directly to your golf game. If you're looking for a golf fitness program that breaks the swing down to separate movements so that you can practice them at home, you can find it over at trainfully.com. As a kinesiologist and human movement specialist, all my routines are based on the complex biomechanics of the golf swing. And as you progress through the Train Fully program, you're actually making improvements in your swing mechanics. If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to hit the like button. And as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.